Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have to ask, how bent and corrupt is Humza Yousaf? Members are supposed to declare interests, financial and business, on the record when they join Holyrood. For some reason, Humza Yousaf has declined to do this. He's part of a multi-million pound property empire, and nothing is written down. It's all totally against the rules. He thought that being who he is, he could break those rules. And of course, he's also on the position that if anyone criticises him, it'll be Islamophobic, presumably. We're going to have a look at this to see why this guy seems to think he's above the rules, he can easily break them, and he can try and get away with hiding and covering up the truth from the people of Scotland yet again. He really is a shady character, isn't he? Let's take a look and see why his finances are of no concern to us. Here goes. So Humza Yousaf is facing questions over undeclared family rental properties. Lots and lots of money because they don't like working. He wants to moan about, landlords, the evil of landlords is the SNP's mantra. And yet there he is, the First Minister, and his own parents have millions of pounds worth of property. Hypocritical much? Who knows? Humza Yousaf is facing questions about why he hasn't publicly declared his family's £1.3 million rental property empire in his register of ministerial interests. The First Minister lists a single rental property in Dundee owned by his wife, Nadia El Nakla. Oh, she's one of those evil landlords that they're so anti. So he's married to one and is the child of one. Hypocrisy is strong in this particular community. He has not, however, included the 8 rental properties in Glasgow owned by his parents and their accountancy firm, Yousaf & Co Limited. Now, there's an interesting thing. His parents own an accountancy firm, and you remember when the SNP were desperate to find a firm of accountants that would do their books? Not even the Yousafs would do the books for the SNP. They must know how bad it is. He's also spoken about private landlords, rent caps and eviction procedures in Parliament without orally declaring any interest. Of course not. I mean, I would have loved everyone in those rental properties belonging to his parents to say, nah, throughout the pandemic, not paying you, don't care, not paying you, not a penny are you getting from me. You can't evict me, I'll just keep all the money myself. Thank you very much. They could have kept all that rent money for 2 years and used it as a deposit and bought a house. It's fantastic, isn't it? The Scottish Government said Mr Yousaf has only declared his wife's rental flat as he could be seen as a direct beneficiary of it. However, the Scottish Tories said the First Minister needed to be fully transparent. Well, if you took all the shit out of him, he'd be transparent. There is no suggestion of any wrongdoing. But no, I'm not saying that there's no wrongdoing by Mr Yousaf's parents. They're perfectly entitled to own rental properties. It's the fact that he is covering it up. He is being shady. He is making sure people don't know about it because it would be embarrassing for him. MSPs must declare their own financial holdings, such as rental properties, in a Holyrood register. But ministers are held to a higher standard and must also complete a second, more detailed register overseen by the Scottish Government's top official, the Permanent Secretary, in this case, old Skid Marks. The Scottish Ministerial Code states that it is the personal responsibility of each minister to decide whether and what action is needed to avoid a conflict or the perception of a conflict, taking account of advice received from the Permanent Secretary. Declarations should cover interests of the minister's spouse or partner and close family which might be thought to give rise to a conflict. Parents? Definitely. Immediate family includes parents, siblings or children where an interest might be thought to give rise to an actual or perceived conflict. Now that's his parents and that is undoubtedly a perceived if not actual conflict. He didn't declare it. He has broken the ministerial code. Will he be investigated? Will he put himself forward? No, because the only person who can put himself forward is himself. And will he do it? Will he bugger? The code says additional care is taken in considering which interests held by ministers' family members should be included in the list, so as to avoid excessive and unreasonable intrusion into their lives. It is important to recognise the right of these individuals to a degree of privacy over their affairs, and also to avoid compromising their ability to continue in gainful trade and or employment. Now, if that property empire is held within a company, a limited company, then it is open to recognition and it shouldn't be a secret. They have to publish the accounts each year. If they're held privately, then that is a direct influence because that's hidden. And so either way, he should declare it. If it's out in the open, he's not declaring it even though it's out in the open. And if it's hidden, he's definitely got to declare it because it's obviously a conflict. During the 2016-2021 Parliament, when he was Transport Minister and Justice Secretary, Yousaf did not declare any family interest in the ministerial register. After he became Health Secretary, he declared that his sister was a practicing pharmacist and 3 cousins were dentists in Scotland, 2 of whom were practice owners. In his current entry, the First Minister declares that his wife is an SNP councillor in Dundee, is a therapist, and that she owns a rental property in Dundee, indicating that the property is considered directly and significantly relevant. The property, in this case, was a flat bought for $82,000 in 2021. However, Mr. Yousaf has not included the rental properties owned by his parents, or the accountancy firm in which they are the sole directors and shareholders. He's also spoken about landlords, rents and evictions in Holyrood without referring to them, so not declaring that he has a direct interest in these matters. He told MSPs at FMQs, "We are committed to working not just with tenants, which is crucial, but with responsible landlords and other key stakeholders. In other words, I need to protect my parents and their money, which will one day come to me. I don't want the state making it so hard that they lose money and therefore I lose money, because I don't have a direct interest in it, but it is a lot of money for me." Good job. According to public records, Yousaf & Co. own 6 flats. There you go, they're owned within a company, therefore they must be out and open and declared. It's in public records, so it's easily to see that he's trying to hide things that are in the public domain. Little list where they are, I don't care. All of them are let via an agent, TPS Lets of Glasgow, and the flats were bought between 27,000 and 132,000 between 2001 and 2019. However, the Zoopla property estimates they are now collectively worth 850,000. The First Minister's father also owns a flat in his own name on Glenapp Street, and the First Minister's mother owns one in her name on Melville Street. Both appear as rental properties on the Scottish Landlord Register and are let through an agent. And it just tells you how much it's worth. Don't care about that. The fact is, £1.3 million worth of property held by his parents, undeclared, money that will be his one day, income from it. He is doing his best to make sure that landlords aren't overly punished to the betterment and benefit of his own parents. And he says there's no conflict of interest. He's a liar, he's a crook, he's a thief. He is denying reality, he is breaking the ministerial code, and he needs to resign on this matter. And if he thinks it's anything other than a resigning matter, it goes to show what an absolute shady crock of shit that man is. How dare he? And then sits there and pontificates on how it is for this and this and this, and we want to do this and this. Oh, but we need to protect responsible landlords, meaning my parents, and not declaring it. Shady, shady crook. Coming up. Now, Scotland does need landlords. I'm not denying that. And I don't object to his parents owning properties. I really don't. What I object to is that this crooked, two-faced, fork-tongued, lying crook sits there and denies that this is the case. Denial by omission. Lies by omission. Sure, yes, my wife, my current wife has a flat, trying to fob it off as though that's the only property that is in any way influential on him. Doesn't mention the 1.5 million, 1.3, probably nearer 1.5 million now, properties. Well, probably will be. Probably nearer 2 million, isn't it? By the time you take in the actual house that his parents own, there's probably £2 million worth of property there. Not declaring that, though, is he? Why? Shady. Shady, two-faced bullbag. If he doesn't report himself to the Commission for breaking the ministerial code, then you know that he's running scared. If he was confident that he did the right thing, he could happily report himself going, no, I was quite right, blah, 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 blah. And away he goes. The fact is, if he doesn't, then he knows he's a crook. Let's hold our breath and see how long it takes for him to report himself. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell. Definitely hit the like button. I will speak to you later. Bye.